morning. It's the morning of our last day here at the Ray Lakes Loop. We're just getting up. We got up about 6:30. We're making breakfast. We're got our beer cans from our storage, and fortunately nothing was disturbed. So far, no bears seen on this trip. Last night we had some little field mice running around from the back here and climbing on people's stuff. So no more drinking from the cup that we were using, or Anthony was using. We're gonna get breakfast going. I've heated up some water. I think my gas canister is about to run out. Anthony says quit, so I think we made enough water. Oh, there's a deer right behind me. Look at that. Holy smokes. I talk about nothing, and there's a deer over there. Psst, psst.
1 minute I was sitting in the sun. Next thing I was flying out the door. Searching for.
So yeah, no wildlife ever. We got deer. We're munching on some food in the meadow here. We've got about a 10.5-mile hike out to the cars today. It's good that wasn't a bear. It would have been a little more cool. So we've got about a 10.5-mile hike out to the cars today. We're about 8,400 feet now, and the car's down to 5,100 feet. So we've got to hike from 8,400 to 5,100 to get out of here today, and to drive home. Yeah, how cool is that? He's heading up to where Anthony's at, and Anthony's relieving himself, so he may have a buddy in a minute. We'll see. Alright, I'm going to have some scrambled eggs with bacon and ham, and we're going to clean up and hit the road here. You can see the sun is already hitting the hilltop behind me, and when we hike down, we're going to be going through Sphinx Junction, and supposedly there's a fire in that area. We saw signs about this fire all over the place, so it's in don't report the fire, don't report the fire, so no stopping in the Sphinx Meadow area. So, yeah, it's going to be a long hike.
Well, today is our last day. We're heading out. We have about a little over 10 miles to go to get to the car. And then hopefully Dave will be there. We'll be able to find Dave. And he'll be in good spirits and tell us what he's done for the last several days. We got to pick up all of our stuff in the car and head on out. We're going to stop, get a burger and a beer maybe, and say goodbye to Kings Canyon National Park. This will be the end of our 42-mile hike, longest hike we've ever done. The sun's coming out. It's only 50 right now in camp, so this is what was left of our camp. We had a good fire last night. There's a fire pit right there. So Gerry's down by the water. He's just washing up real quick, putting sunscreen on, and then one more splash of water on the fire. We should be good. So I start heading back. About 10.5 miles to go. Well, we just left Junction Meadow. That's where we spent the night last night. We're getting ready for our 10-mile descent back down to the trailhead at Road's End and Cedar Grove here in Kings Canyon. Gerry's making a few final adjustments on his boot laces because this downhill descent's tough. We had a quiet night last night. Nothing much really happened. Right when we got ready to go to bed, I set my little cook's drinking cup on a rock with my stove. 2 minutes later, I noticed there were 2 field mice inside it. So this morning, there were little mouse droppings inside my cup, so I didn't use it this morning. It's okay, it's the last day. I won't need it again. it'll get a good scrub in tomorrow. But I guess after I went off to do my business in the woods, Gerry said a deer came through camp. That's about the only wildlife we've seen. We've seen 2 piles of bear scat over the last several miles, but no bears. This is the section where they're at too, so we have to kind of keep our eyes open. Everybody that we've talked to that's been this route has seen bears. So far, nothing for us. So we got to get about 6.5 miles to Sphinx Junction. There's a trail that splits off there. And we'll take a break there, I guess, and then from there it's another, I don't know, 4 to the car. So we're getting there. This is about as light as our pack's ever going to be. You can tell. It feels a little lighter. My calves are still tight. Hopefully once we get going here, they'll loosen up a little bit. It's about 50 this morning. It's a little chilly. And we got a little earlier head start. We've been starting kind of late. It's taken us a little long time to get going. We've been hitting the trail about 9, about 8:30 I guess today. That's not too bad. Well, we've come a little ways past the second bear box down, I guess, just below Junction Meadow. And terrain's been pretty good. It's been steep. We started off at 8,500 feet and we're down to 7,700 feet in just about a mile and a half. So we've been dropping steadily. But terrain's been not too bad. It's been gorgeous down here. We're right along the water. The water, you can hear it. It's cascading right. You can't see it from here on the camera, but we've been going through ferns and all kinds of lovely stuff down here. It's nice. Heading out. Came across this little neat spot in between these boulders. Trees got as high as it would go when it hit the roof of the boulder. I wonder what looks back there. Small bear. Yeah. Recesses underneath here. Cousin bears. Well, the water's coming down the Bub's Creek and it looks like a tree fell across 2 big rocks and made an overhang as the water continues to flow downstream.
All right, we found Charlotte Creek, and it looks like we have to walk right across it. It's a pretty sizable creek, coming out of the mountains up above to the right, and running down to the left to join Bub's Creek, which is a much more serious creek down below. So Anthony's working his way across, and then I'll work my way across after him. Okay, we've come past Charlotte Creek and we're hiking through this fern meadow down Kings Canyon, Bub's Creek below us here, and can't ask for a more beautiful section to walk through. as we have about 2.9 more miles to get to Sphinx Junction, where we'll should be around noon, and we'll drop our packs and have some lunch. Then we'll have about 4 miles left.
Well, now you know why they call it Kings Canyon. We started way up there this morning. Now we're heading down toward Sphinx Junction. Gerry just checked the GPS. Said it was just a shade under 2.9 miles.
How far are you going? All right. Beautiful.
She went out for cigarettes and never came home. And I swallowed the sun and screamed away. Straight down to the dirt so I could find her trail, spread out across the great divide. But I just come to talk St. Valentine.
He's a little.
Yeah,
Probably that's not a cup.
probably is. Well, right about where Anthony's standing, he says, if I was a bear, this is where I'd be. Nice shade, trees, water. And then he saw some crap, bear crap on the ground. And then he saw a cub.
Oh shit, he's right there. He's coming my way. He's right here in front of me. He's crossing over. That's all I see is the one.
While the girls in the glass, they're just throwing me shade.
He's looking at me. He's going the other way. He's little though. He's a cub. We gotta be careful. There might be a mama bear around here somewhere. Well, we just saw a bear. He was about 20 feet from us off the trail between a tree and a boulder. And the sad part is he was really little. He's a cub. He's not here by himself. So, somebody told us that there was a mama bear with 2 cubs. That's one of the cubs. There's probably a mama bear here somewhere. That's one thing you don't want to do, is get in between a mama bear and her cubs. So we're making lots of noise as we're coming through here. Hopefully, if they're around, they'll just stay out of sight till we get clear. And it was funny, I just said, if I was a bear, this is where I would be. And then we saw some bear scat. It wasn't really that fresh, but. So we're gonna take it nice and quiet and safe through here.
All right, there was warning signs at the trailhead that said there was a burn area near Sphinx Junction. We found it, and we can smell it. So we must be getting close to Sphinx Junction, because this is all pretty burned out. It's not a super giant burn. It's burned out over here. Trees are burned out here. But it looks like it's mostly out. And it looks like it's all to the uphill side of the trail, a little bit on the lower side of the trail. So they said it was caused by lightning. I believe it started August 1st. So we're getting close to Sphinx Junction.
Well, they warned us at the trailhead 4 days ago about a burn area. This is it. They said the trail's open. They said just keep an eye on it, and they've got their eye on it, and you can smell it. Well, we're taking a break here at what we think is Sphinx Junction. We're pretty close to it. This is a really nice area to stop. It's got shade, it's got really easy water access, and we're pretty tired. After this, we got about 4.5 miles to go, I think. About right? We'll be back at the car. So we just had our first bear encounter a while back. I don't know, a quarter mile back maybe. So that was exciting. So we were lucky to see the bear. We were hoping we'd see one on this adventure, and we have. And we'll get lucky, we'll see another one. But in the meantime, we got to top off our tanks with water and take a load off our backs for a bit, and then get hydrated with some good old Spam. Get some calories in us to fuel us for the last part of our journey back to the car.
We're snacking up beef jerky. Beef jerky time is 2. Tanking up on water, drinking everything we got. Gonna refill with nice cold water. And we have 10.5 miles today. We've knocked off about 6.8 according to the map, and like 4.5 to go, and we'll be done. So starting to see a little more gnats. Got the bug net out because I'm sure it's going to get worse as we get further down here. So we're going to take a look at the map, see how much further we got to go.
Yep.
It's probably about 4. We knocked off the 6.8.
Oh, look at that. We started here, we went all the way around, and now we just look at that.
God, that doesn't look like anything.
There's 2 bear boxes at Sphinx Junction.
Holy, look at those switchbacks there.
I know. So we dropped from
There's
62 to
switchbacks.
51.
So we're at 62 now?
Yeah.
We're at 6,200 going down to 5,100. And we've got 1.7 plus 0.1 plus 2, 1.9.
Yeah, so 2. Wait,
1.7 right where your finger is.
and
Well,
then
that's
2.
0.1 makes it 1.8. It's 2 and 2 miles.
So 3.7?
3.8, 3.7.
3.7 is all we got left?
You can hope.
Yeah.
But a bunch of
But we're
switchbacks
actually
going
right,
down.
not right in Sphinx Junction right now. We gotta be getting pretty close.
You don't think we're at Sphinx Junction?
There's 2 bear boxes.
Okay.
And a
well,
trailhead.
all right. Well,
So we're pretty close.
it's probably just
It's probably right on the
right on
corner.
there. The GPS said 400 more feet, but this was just an awesome little spot here, so we decided to take a break, go to water access, and we're gonna finish eating and get some water and get going.
The night fell with bicycle bells.
Literally just left Junction, Sphinx Junction, and I got 5 mosquitoes in front of me. So we're 4 miles away. We came 6.4 from Meadow and from Junction Meadow. And if you were a hardy soul and wanted to go to Avalanche Pass or Roaring River, which sounds like Disneyland to me, then you got to go over yonder bridge and down that canyon. And because this is Sphinx Junction, there's a Sphinx Sphinx-like head up high, and I'm not seeing it. I'm looking for the Sphinx, but I don't see it, so we'll see it when we get further down. But for now, we're headed this way.
Well, we've come down a ways from our break at Sphinx Junction. Pretty cool bridge right here. Let's go toward the Avalanche Pass and Roaring River. We're not going that way. We got 4.1 miles to go.
Off in the night, you can hear them bright, the sirens of the sea. Oh, and the city birds and alley girls, they all just sing for free. Oh, they all just sing for free. Oh, darling,
We're about 4 miles from the car, down around that canyon. That's where we're going. Mouth of that canyon to the left. About 4 miles, that's where we're going.
Silver and stone, we were the lust of the miners, darling, pardon me. Hey, hey. Sky she glowed, all calico, like phosphor in the sea. To the ground we fall.
Oh, this is our third bridge in a row.
Boys and beasts, kings and boys and beasts. Oh, darling, pardon me. Till I look familiar, we were flying free, and we burned from a freight train. We were flickers of truth, and the smile of the salesman. We were buried jewels. Leave the grass and the sun.
One final bridge crossing. And 2 miles after this will get us back to the cars. These waters look almost glacial. So 5 days ago, we started our journey to do the Woods Creek, to do the Ray Lakes loop via Woods Creek, returning on Bubbs Creek. And we have just finished returning on Bubbs Creek, and we are rejoining the last piece of the trail that we started on. This is a 2-mile section that starts at Road's End and comes into the Ray Lakes Loop, where you get to decide if you're going to do it clockwise or counterclockwise. If you do it clockwise like we did, you're going up this way into Woods Creek. And if you do it counterclockwise, you're on this trail, walking the other direction, and doing the loop that way. But what's left for us to do is we just came from Junction Meadow last night, 8.6 miles. We just had a break and lunch at Sphinx Creek, Trail Junction, 2.2 ago. And we've been all the way around on everything else. We went up this fall, Lower Paradise on the John Muir Trail, came down over Glen Pass at 12,000, and spent the night at Junction Meadow, and we're hiking our last day out here. And what we have left is where we started, at Road's End in Kings Canyon. So 2 miles left to go to end this journey.
We've arrived back at the permit station at Road's End. We've hiked a total of 42 miles in 5 days, and we've come to this point. This is where we started, right here at Road's End.
It is day 5. We have just finished 41 miles around the Ray Lakes Loop. We did a total of 14,000 feet of elevation change. Crossed a 12,000 foot pass, endured temperatures that weren't too bad in the low 80s. I'm sorry, in the low 80s. It felt like the low 80s. In the upper 30s, and saw one bear, one deer, lots of lizards, lots of beautiful lakes and everything. What am I going to do next? I'm going to Disneyland.
Well, we've made it. All 42 miles. There's the ranger station where we picked up our permits. So we've made it. All 42 miles. There's our sign right there. Road's End right there. 42 miles. To right here, we made it. That's it, Jerry. 42 miles, man. What do you say?
I feel pretty good. I'm not going to do 42 more. I think maybe 42 more.
Yeah, to the cars, and that's about it.
41 miles, some pretty crazy hot temperatures. We've done up and down a total of 14,000 feet, across a 12,000 foot pass. Saw a bear, saw a deer, saw 1,000 lizards, and saw temperatures as low as 38, and saw beautiful lakes up at Ray Lakes, and beautiful sky and everything, and happy to be back down and ready to rejoin civilization.
Me too. I'm ready for a beer. Now we gotta find Dave. Well, in case you're wondering whatever happened to Dave, Dave's fine. Dave made it after he left us. He ended up going all the way down to the Lower Paradise Valley camp. He spent a night there where he had a very unique bear encounter. He was down by the creek, and he was working his way back up the bank back to his campsite, and he heard people on the other side of the creek waving at him, and he just thought they were saying hi, so he was waving back, and then eventually he listened real carefully, and he said, "There's a bear and it's coming right your way. It's working its way up the embankment." So Dave had his own bear encounter at the Lower Paradise camp. So anyway, Dave actually made it all the way down to back to Road's End, and he didn't have the keys because I had the keys to the Jeep on me, and but he had his backpack, so he was good to stay a few more days. So he ended up hitchhiking a ride about 8 miles back to the Sentinel Grove campground. At the Sentinel Grove campground, right adjacent to it, is a small little deli, and is a place that has a few rooms for rent. And Dave, being smart as he is, he went in there and told them that he wanted to rent a room for the night, and he didn't have any money, and he didn't have any identification on him, but he did have his phone. So believe it or not, they allowed him to use their Wi-Fi. He used his phone, he accessed his bank account, was able to pull up a credit card statement that he had and showed him the account number. And then Dave, since he was so smart, he actually memorized that little number on the back of your credit card, the security code. They were able to look it up, and sure enough, they rented Dave a room. So Dave stayed there at basically in Cedar Grove for a few more days, and he waited for us to come back from our 42-mile loop. So in case you were wondering, Dave's fine. He's doing well, and I'm hopefully he'll be with us on the next adventure of Anthony's audio journal. And one more thing before I go, I don't usually ever mention it, but the music that I used for the background, the bed music or the soundtrack, came from Gregory Alan Isaacoff. He's a regular musician that has many albums out. They're available on YouTube. They're available on Amazon and anywhere else you would find your normal music. So if you like the background music, it's from Gregory Alan Isaacoff. And hopefully you enjoyed this edition of the Anthony's Audio Journal YouTube channel, and you enjoyed our trek up into the Kings Canyon National Park and our Ray Lakes Loop. So stick around, be sure and click and subscribe, and get ready for some new adventures here on the Anthony's Audio Journal channel. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.
Someday, my baby, I am a man. Others have shown me